All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the stream. Good to see you all. Before I get into it, I am running a Black Friday sale for my Udemy course, so you can get it for $14.99 until Friday of next week. So if you've been interested in checking it out and interested in buying it, now's the time to do so. Link for that is in the description. So yeah, hello everyone. Elemental TJ, welcome, welcome. Hello Neozoid, good to see you again. You changed your name back. That's cool because I can remember you now. Hello Code Red, have I left Dev Hell? I think so. Yeah, I think the changes that I've been making recently have been really good for the game. So feeling good. We're going to be doing more of that work today. But yeah, I think we're good to go. Hopefully I'll be making the next devlog soon, and then I can kind of lay out everything that has changed. So yeah. Hello Vidra, welcome, welcome. Okay, so just to kind of recap what I've been working on. So previously, so as of my last devlog, it used to be the case that you forge your weapons with random gun parts that all have random affixes on them, and you kind of have to make your build by just dealing with that randomness. The biggest change that I've made since then is that affixes are now runes, which can be freely slotted in and out of your weapons. And I'll show you some of that here as I play the game a little bit. And then what we're going to be doing today is streamlining the sort of in-between wave reward flow. So right now there's two different upgrade tables. There's a passive upgrade table and a weapon upgrade table. What I'm going to be doing is merging those into a single table because it's just too many steps. And then, and yeah, hopefully that will smooth things out. So you see we got these two different tables here. So I'm going to choose a passive real quick. This hasn't changed yet. I'll just take one of those, and then the upgrade table. So now the UI looks like this. So you've got your available gun parts that you can choose from on the left-hand side here, and these will indicate if they're upgrades for you. There's a new stat called rune slots, which is essentially how many affixes you can have. So you can see if I select this gun part here, the rune slots goes up and the DPS goes up. So I'm going to equip that one actually. So now I can equip two runes. I've already got one in here, which is a poison rune, but I can click on the available runes here. I collected this during the wave. So runes can now drop from enemies during the wave. You pick them up, they go into your inventory. This one, bullets deal 100% extra damage when low on ammo. So I'm just going to go ahead and add that rune. And now I've got both of those runes on the gun. I can't deselect this, so that's not good, but so I can leave. So yeah, this is what my gun looks like. And I could do the same for the other gun too. So my right gun, let's go ahead and take this one. Adds a shock stack. And then I could take this one too, which will add another rune slot. And I can freely remove these things too. So if I just wanted the shock rune from that part, I could just remove it and put it in my inventory. And this inventory stays constant here. So now I can have a little bit more control over my build. Yeah, so it's more akin to Noita now. Instead of being purely random, you can kind of hold on to things and craft your guns more specifically. So, but the trick is, the amount of runes that you can hold in your inventory is going to be limited. So it'll be like probably 3 runes max to start with, and any excess runes you have. So let's say you have 3 runes and you pick up one during the wave. That will be one more than you can carry. And what will happen is that you can choose to manually sell runes for gold to get back under the limit. Or any excess runes will just be auto-sold when you start the next wave. And the idea is that there will be some meta progression you can do to increase that inventory. How many slots there are in that inventory, so you can hold more runes at a time. So that's kind of the system we got going. There's still a lot of work to do. I still have to do a bunch of UI, UX work to make that a better experience, but it's trending in the right direction. But yeah, I think for today we're going to be kind of consolidating these two tables here. Just because these extra steps are kind of unnecessary. They just add a little bit of extra work for the player that doesn't need to be there. So it looks like I don't have any upgrades from these available gun parts. I could sacrifice 1 HP for a passive, so let's grab that. All right. So yeah, let's see if I can get another rune to drop here. Another minor thing that I did is for any loot item that drops, so either runes or gold or health globes, they now kind of drop a lot farther away from the enemy, so they kind of scatter more. And the idea is that will get the player moving a lot more to go and pick up everything that got dropped. I did not get a rune. Let's just keep playing until I find a rune here. So I don't have any available runes. I need to think about how to introduce additional ways that the player can get runes aside from just dropping off of enemies. But this one has a rune, adds 1 oil stack. So I don't necessarily want this oil receiver here, but I can extract the rune and put that oil in my inventory. And since I have an empty slot here, I might as well just go ahead and add that to my right gun. And so now you can see I've got 4 runes total across both my guns. And we're good to go. I really want for an enemy to drop a rune. I guess it's not going to happen. Oh well. I guess you're not going to see that. No, we'll see. Good to get some gameplay in anyway, just for those of you who haven't seen the game in a while. Alright, let's take... creates a larger explosion when oil is applied to a burning enemy. Well, I don't have any burn, so I'm just going to go ahead and go with the extra stack of zap right there. What do I got here? This one is a DPS increase, but it reduces the number of rune slots, so I think I'm going to give that one a pass. Yeah, we'll go ahead and just keep going. Ooh, is that a crash? What happened? What happened? Oh no. Clear. Is there going to be an error in here? Wonder what happens. I wonder if this is a stuck loop somewhere. Let's see. Can I attach to process here? Will this just immediately catch? Let's see. Let's attach to that process and see if that works. I'm just wondering if I'll be able to pause the execution and see if it's stuck in a loop here. Well. Okay, well, I'm not an expert in whatever's going on right here, but this R dest is the same value every time. Looks like I have no clue what that is, but it's not changing, so it looks like it hung here in some Godot internal code. And stepping over doesn't do anything, so, interesting. Well, that was not helpful at all. But we will ignore that for now. No errors either. Very curious, very curious. All right, well, we'll just ignore that. Well, what I can do, I guess, is I can go into my Wave Reward Manager here. Oh, I should probably increase this size here. Yeah, there we go. Wave Rewards Manager. I'll just go ahead and bump up the rune drop rate quite a bit, just so I can show you what's going on here. I think that's a Godot thing. Yeah, it looked like some kind of C# issue. Hello. Let's see. It might be interesting if there were two things. If you're at capacity, you only get to discard. If you want money for them, you must actively sell them. So selling reduces your flexibility. I see what you're saying, yeah. Yeah, there's some experimentation that I can do there. Trading build flexibility for general power, yeah. So here you can see that the runes are dropping, so they have like this little orange kind of glow, orange effect. And when I pick that up, that adds a rune. Now it doesn't tell you which rune you pick up just yet. That's something that I have to change, but now if I go to the upgrade table, you can see here's all the runes that I picked up. And so I'll be able to freely slot those, so I can equip that. And then I'll just go ahead and just add that rune, boom, done. And you can see they curve to the training dummy there. I have some question related to Godot resource management. How do you manage your files and folders of the project? Because only moving one file from one folder to another causes the whole thing to break. I don't have any issues really with moving stuff. You have to do it from the Godot editor. You can't like use your IDE whatever to move files around. That will break things, but if you move things within this editor, it generally works. So I haven't really had a problem with that. Okay, so I'm gonna roll back that change where I massively increased the drop rate. So I've already kind of started on this new merged upgrade table here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm taking the Gunforged, let's see, the gun upgrade table. I'm taking this one, and then the passive upgrade table. And I kind of need to take these animated contraption things and just put them into one big thing here. And I've kind of started already doing that. So I basically just copied everything from the passive upgrade table here and pasted it under this node here. And now what I have to do is I have to make all the layers work together. So we have the body here. We don't need this interaction area component. Random audio stream player. That all works. Okay, so all that animation works. I'm gonna get rid of this point of interest component because I don't need that. This point light, yeah, so we're gonna keep all that stuff just underneath this node, but these cogs and whatnot, this cog can stay there, but the ingot, it needs to be on top. Actually, why isn't it on top? Cog is fine. Oh, I think I have show behind parent on. Yes, there we go. Okay. So yeah, the cog needs to go behind the body there. And is that it? Okay, perfect. And then let's do the, let's create another node 2D. Hammer regular, I guess. I don't know what to call these. There's like a, I don't know. This is, I guess that's a hammer, but then I also have this hammer here. So who knows? So basically what I'm doing is I'm just copying all this stuff, minus some of them, and just pasting that under there. The reason I can't make these separate scenes really is because I have to have that layering, right? So like this cog has to go behind everything. I may be able to do this as its own scene, but I don't know if it's necessarily worthwhile at this point. So that looks good. One thing I want to do is I want to keep this hammer on that side actually, and then move the cog and this over. Like so. Okay. Boy, this is a mess. All right, I'm gonna put this up here. So let's just play this and see if it works. Cool, that seems to be working. This part rotation, yeah, that works too, okay. Very ugly node or scene tree structure here, but we'll go with it. Yeah, I'm on 4.1.3, that's correct. I'm using the standalone version, yeah. Yeah, that's a good point, Joshua. So what I always do, if I'm gonna make any change that's gonna kind of change a scene, I always close all the tabs. I just close all the scenes out. That goes for if I'm gonna make any changes, like with Git. So if I need discard changes or like rollback changes, and it also goes for if I'm moving anything around. Because yeah, if scenes are open, the problem is that it doesn't respond very well to the scene being changed some other way while it's open in a tab. It seems to just like always overwrite whatever change you made with like the current state of what's in the tab. So that's a great point, Joshua. Yeah. Yeah, make sure you close all of the relevant open scenes before you do any kind of like moving things around. And of course, like if you have hard-coded path references, like preloads or whatever in your script, those I don't think get updated when you move the thing that it's pointing to. So that's something else to keep in mind. But if you're exporting things or yeah, if you're exporting things in the editor and passing in references that way, those should be updated. Any owners of the scene will be updated when you move it. So yeah. Okay. So I think messiness aside, if I just leave those like they are, what happens if I go to my test scene and I just plop that in? Let's get rid of this screen here. So instantiate scene, upgrade table. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, for sure, Neozoid. Absolutely. Okay, so now we've got one mega forge table. We might need to tone down the lights a little bit, but yeah, so that's basically it. The only reason I'm making it like a mega table is because I didn't want to get rid of all the animations I did, so there's going to be 2 hammers going. All right. So now that's the easy part. The tricky part is now going to be getting it functional. So if I go to my passive upgrade table, if I go to my usages here, So yeah, basically this wave rewards manager here kind of handles the coordination of like giving the player the passives and everything, and what happens when the passive is chosen. So in here, we need to change this. So this needs to become, what is it called? Register, yeah. We're gonna just call this register upgrade table. We're gonna pass in an upgrade table here. Upgrade table. Okay. So we need a signal for that. I think I'm just gonna take this signal from here. Yeah, and I'll just go ahead and drop it in here. And we're gonna need a point of interest component. I guess I could just copy all this. Why not? Copy all that. Okay, and then we're just going to import all of our missing references here. Okay, so what is this basically doing? This is just notifying the wave rewards manager here that the rewards have been requested when the table is interacted with. That will generate the passive rewards, which creates like a whole screen and everything. So we're just gonna see what that looks like in game. And I also need to actually add this interaction area component and the point of interest component. This needs to change to register upgrade table. This needs to change to upgrade table. And before I forget, let's go to the wave manager. And we're gonna add in that upgrade table in here. And we still got an error. Why do we have that? Register passive. Oh, this is the continue lever. Okay. Register upgrade table. All right, so that should more or less just be a drop-in replacement compared to that other table that we had. Now should show me the passive reward screen, but I need it to transition automatically to the gun forging screen as well. But one thing at a time, I wonder if I can interact with it in here, if that will work. Probably not. Oh, it's definitely not going to work because I didn't add a couple of things that I need. So I need to add a point of interest component here. And this is just an arrow that will point to the table, and it will point if it's off screen, so it will fix itself to the corner of the screen if the element is off screen. So that's all that does, and then I can put this probably a little bit higher up, and then let's do a interaction area component. This one's just gonna kind of be put smack dab in the middle here. And radius. Oh, that's kind of unfortunate that I made this only a circle, but should be fine. Text. Put that behind. All right, now let's see if that'll work. Actually, might as well go ahead and add a static body in here as well. What is even this thing doing? Oh, this is all kinds of messed up, isn't it? This is all kinds of messed up. I want the origin to be right there. Right in the middle. Okay. So what am I doing? Yeah, static body here. Let's go ahead and add a collision shape 2D. We'll go ahead and make this a rectangle shape. Is there a way to like... Ah, if you hold Alt on a collision shape, it will expand the extents in both directions. That's very cool, very cool, very cool. That should be fine. And we just got to make sure that this layer is checked for terrain. Perfect. All right, now let's give it a shot. Okay, yeah, so that doesn't do anything, the upgrade, because I believe it needs to be in the context of a wave. So let's just see how badly things are broken here. So what I can do is I can go in here and I can turn on debug mode for both of those nodes. And then when I play the game, I'll instantly kill enemies and there will only be one enemy to kill. What job do you do outside of game dev? Is your bio says you're a software engineer? Yeah, that's what I would say my job title is. I'm working for a startup right now, and so basically just building a SaaS product, software as a service. So I work on the back end, the infrastructure, database, front end with React. Yeah, basically I just do everything that's required to actually build the product full stack. So yep, that's what I do. Okay, so that worked. So I used the table and it gave me passive selections. So now we have to make this transition. So there's a couple of things we need to do. We need to make it transition to the Gunforge, the weapon forging UI, and then we need to make it, if you use it again, it will go back to the weapon forge UI. In other words, it should only show you the passive upgrade one time, but then all subsequent interactions will show you the weapon forging screen. So the only problem with this approach is that you have to choose a passive before you start working on your guns, whereas with this approach you could do one or the other. But I think that's probably fine. I think that's probably fine. Okay, so let's get that working. So let's take a look at this wave manager here. So what needs to happen when I interact with this upgrade table, what it does is it will emit this interacted signal, which we just updated in the Wave Rewards Manager. So let's just follow this. So on rewards requested, it will generate the passive rewards. It will create that screen. When that screen is over, it will end up here, and it actually ends up freeing that scene here, or that screen here. And then it goes to on reward screen finished, and that will animate out the dimmed background. So I think what needs to happen is somewhere in here, it needs to emit a signal that the upgrade table can listen to that tells it to show the gun forging UI. The problem is, I don't know how smooth that's going to be with this dimmed background, but maybe we'll not worry about that just yet. Yeah, so I think So register upgrade table. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my upgrade table. I'm going to create a method in here. Register wave rewards manager. And then we need another signal here. Reward selection done. Where is that used? Okay, so that's after the screen is finished. Okay. So let's do a signal. Public delegate void passive selection done event handler. On passive screen ended, what we're going to do in here is emit signal. Signal name dot reward or passive selection done, like so. I don't think we need this anymore. Don't think we need that. It might make sense. Well, I have some reservations about the way I'm doing this, but we will deal with those problems when they come up. So let's do this. Private void on passive selection done. What we need to do is take that resource preloader that's in our upgrade table scene. We'll grab a reference to it and then resource preloader dot instance scene or null. I need to rename this in Godot utilities since everything's instantiate now, but we'll do that later. Gunforged UI. Add child, Gunforged UI. I think that's going to work, but it's probably going to be very janky. And then we got to get to this branch of code at some point as well. Yeah, this is going to be Jank City, I think. We'll see what happens. I love my jobs, thank you. Do I do freelance on Fiverr? No. I don't do any freelancing. Nope, salary is the way to go. Steady income, steady paycheck, get some benefits. Okay, so let's see what happens if I do imaginary friend and then I... Oh, okay. Nothing happened. Why did nothing happen? Oh, I never called this register, did I? Right, okay. Upgrade table dot register rewards manager this. Cool, that ought to do it. How many wish lists have you gathered on yet, if it's not a secret? The last time I checked, it was around 5,500, which is decent. It's certainly more wish lists than I've ever gotten for any other game, which is awesome. But I think the advice is to target 10,000 prior to release. That's what I've heard. It's anywhere from 7,000 to 10,000, I think. So plenty of time. So if you haven't wishlist Gunforged, take a look at the description. Would very much appreciate that. It would help me a lot. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. It'll be interesting to see how people like it. Okay, so that goes right into the Gunforged UI, and then if I leave, it breaks. So the problem, this is the problem that's not working well, is that when I'm doing, when I have this dimmed background here, so I have a dimmed background in two places. The Gunforged UI, or the Gunforged UI, has a dimmed background right here. And I need to coordinate that with this dimmed background that is used for the passive selection screen. And why do I need to do that? So I need the background to dim, like animate in and stay there even while it switches screens from, let's say, the passive selection screen to the Gunforged screen. And so that either is going to require one instance of the background to stay there permanently, or I just need to make sure not to animate the one out when I free it, and then the other one shouldn't animate in when it comes in instantly. I don't know if that makes any sense, but we are going to give this a shot here. So I think what I need to do is oops. Get first node of type dimmed background. I don't know if it's actually that good of an idea to manage this here anymore. I think what I might do, where's my wave rewards manager? I don't really think that that should be managing this dimmed background, so we're gonna get rid of that. Wave reward selection screen, what is that? Oh, that's the old one. Okay, we're gonna get rid of that. Where's that dimmed background even coming from? Okay, I see. So I'm gonna go to my passive reward selection screen here, and I'm actually going to, I'm just gonna go ahead and put the dimmed background on this. Oops. I think it makes more sense for this to be sort of isolated here. And then what I can do is grab a reference to this node private dimmed background, and then on ready here, I'll just say dimmed background dot animate in. Okay, and then I can remove all references to a dimmed background in here so that this wave rewards manager is no longer managing any sort of UI thing, which doesn't really make sense. Perfect, okay. And then the benefit of that is what I can do is when I free this screen, that background will be freed with it. And then the Gunforged UI screen will come up instantly. So that ought to work. I don't think I need to test that. And then what I need to do is a subsequent interaction with the upgrade table. A subsequent interaction with the upgrade table needs to bring up just the Gunforged UI. So let's do this. Private void show Gunforged show Funforged UI. I don't know. Should this be capitalized? Maybe it should. So uninteracted here. We're gonna emit that signal always, I suppose. We're gonna get rid of this toggle interaction enabled. And what we're gonna do is, if, well, I'm gonna rename this to interacted, first interaction. The thing that's getting me tripped up is like the signal names ideally should be like in the past tense, like interacted. But how do I say interacted for the first time? So I'm just going to break that rule and I'm just going to call it first interaction event handler. And then what I can do is first interaction, and then in here, so there's the first interaction, and then I'll only emit that if not has interacted. Emit that signal. Toggle the visibility of that point of interest, and then set has interacted to true. And then else we will show the Gunforged UI. Perfect. Okay, so the first interaction we do, it should tell us, okay, here's the passives. It will trigger all the other things to be interactable. So the continue lever that you have to pull to go to the next wave, but then also it won't emit that signal again. So every subsequent visit will just show the Gunforged UI. So hopefully that all works. Let's take a look. What company do I work for? I cannot say, I'm sorry, because that would dox me pretty easily. It's a very small company. There's only like 5 people at it. The progress after the demo looks very nice, by the way. Thank you. Thank you, Vidra. I appreciate it. What are runes? Runes are... Well, first of all, hello, Eraton. Good to see you. What are runes? They are basically just currency forms of affixes or standalone forms of affixes. So they are capabilities that you can put into your gun that change the behavior. So it used to be that guns would come randomly with a set of affixes. Now, that's still the case. They still can come with affixes, but you can take affixes off a gun part and put it on another one, and you basically have a lot of control over how your gun behaves. Yeah, exactly, Joshua. Yeah. I'm not entirely worried about doxing. It's just I like to also keep the, you know, try to keep the work and the private life separate. My employer doesn't need to know that I'm doing this. Initially interacted. Ah, see, that's a good one. Thank you, Mistmerk. I will probably rename it again. Okay, so there we go. Perfect. And so now if I exit this screen and I go back, it should only show the Gunforged UI. Perfect. Why did I get 3 of the same thing? Oh, something's wrong. Okay, so I'm missing something as well. Oh, there's a couple errors. Hold on. What's the error? Null reference exception. Oh, am I not setting the gun parts? Right, okay. So I am missing something. So if I go to my gun upgrade table, right, so I'm missing all this stuff from the gun upgrade table. So there's an easy solution to this, which is copy and paste. Part nodes, I need to get a reference to that. Let's access this as a unique name. Part nodes, why is this? Yeah, so I just need to copy this code over here. Export node 2D part nodes. Why am I doing that? I don't know why I'm doing that, but we'll just copy it. So I guess I don't need to access this as a unique node. Gun upgrade table part. Let's import the missing references. Perfect. Okay, so this essentially is just setting up all the parts that you can have. It will pick a scaled part resource for you based on the current wave from the Wave Rewards Manager. And then it will add those parts to the scene tree. Okay. And then in the gun upgrade table here. Oh, I also need this process, I suppose. So on interacted, this Forge UI here. So all of this needs to come with me. All right, so whenever show Gunforged UI is called, we basically just need to do this. So this is setting up all the parts and everything. It's also, yeah, it's also going to disable the interaction area component, which probably should happen here as well. Yeah, I think I can do that. So I can say toggle interaction enabled false here as well, because what's going to happen is this will come in, it will disable that interaction for a little bit, the ability to bring up the menu with the action key. And then when the passive selection is done, it's going to immediately go to the Gunforged UI, which when that UI is closed will re-enable the interaction area. So I think that's fine. I think that's fine. All right, let's rename this to initially interacted. I like that better. Okay, so let's build this because I need to assign some things in the editor here. No worries, Neozoid. No worries at all. Okay, and I can take these first, second part. Oh, wait. So I'm just going to drag all these parts in here. Now, is there anything else that I'm missing here? I don't think so. Let's see if that works. Come on, come at me. All right, so now we can see that there's parts rotating here, which is good. I can visit this. I'll get my enhanced combustion, I guess. And then I go right into this, which now is showing me correct upgrades. So I'm going to extract that lightning rune. And then I'm going to... Oh, the DPS actually goes down. Guess I'll just equip it there then. This one has a rune. Poison stack. Oh, let's go ahead and equip that there. And then we'll go ahead and put that shock status right there. Cool, I got moss magazines on both guns. And when I visit the table again, I can freely swap parts again. So the nice thing about this system is that I can go back to my original configuration. So I can say, you know, go back to that and then go back to that. And boom, I'm right back to where I started. So as long as you haven't advanced the wave, there's no such thing as a permanent change, which I think is good. Perfect. And then we can get rid of that table from spawning. Then we got to fix the sort of dimmed background animation issue because it briefly flickers. Oh, interesting. That didn't bring up the forging UI that time. Why not? Cannot access a disposed object. What disposed object? Is the resource preloader being freed? Why is that happening? All right, let's inspect the remote scene tree here and see. Upgrade table resource preloader. Oh, is it not going to let me see what's actually in the resource preloader here? That's interesting. Why did that happen? System object disposed exception. Cannot access a disposed object, object name Godot.resource preloader. Why is that happening? Why is that happening? Okay, well, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this gun upgrade table here. Let's just give it another shot here. I want to see what's happening. How's everyone doing this afternoon or evening? All right, let's take a look. Okay, so the training dummy, that's good. Training dummy spawned down there. Get down, Mr. President. Let's grab the bodyguard. That goes immediately to the next screen. That's fine. We'll just go ahead and leave. I can bring this back up again. No errors, so let's keep going. Ooh, a rune, nice. Imaginary friend. It crashed again. Why is that happening? That's bizarre. It works flawlessly the first time, and then the second time it gets instantiated, it doesn't work. That's very, very odd. Is there something obvious that I'm missing here, maybe? Gun upgrade table part, dual part selection UI. I don't think I'm using that anymore. Is there something that I'm missing here? That's very strange indeed. Let me put a breakpoint there, I suppose. And let's see what my configuration says. Is this player... Oh, okay. This should just play the game from the beginning, so let's see. So I think this one should be good. Let's do this. Is instance valid resource preloader? Evaluate. True. Okay. So let's continue then. And let's go to the next one and see what happens. Interesting. Yeah, you can see that it's all saying object disposed exception. Why is that happening? This should be a new reference every time it's instantiated. But for some reason it's getting freed. Why? Why is that happening? I'm not freeing this anywhere. Object disposed. I know if I evaluate this expression here, is instance valid, resource preloader, it's going to be false. Is this a Godot bug? I'm really trying to think of if there's anything that I'm doing wrong here that's causing Godot to think that this resource preloader is for some reason not real. Well, the only thing I can think of really is that there's a couple of resource preloaders in here, I think. Oh no, there's only one. Well, that's even more baffling then. Why is it being freed? Show Gunforged UI resource preloader. I'm kind of curious. I don't think renaming it is going to do anything, but I don't see why it would, but might as well just see. This has to be a Godot issue, which means I have to figure out a workaround for it. Wonder if I could just call get node manually on it, just to get around this issue. Very odd why that would be happening though. Get pointer, resource preloader. What happens if I... Is cleaning the solution going to do anything? Probably not, huh? I very much doubt that's going to do anything. So I might just have to call get node on the resource preloader every time I want to access it, because that reference for some reason is, or it's saying the object is disposed, but the resource preloader is still in the scene. So it must be an issue between the C# and like the Godot layer. C# is disposing the reference even though the Godot object still exists. I'm kind of just guessing in the dark here, but I'm really not sure why that would be an issue, aside from it being a bug. It wasn't Preloader 2. The error wasn't the one you changed the name on. It wasn't Preloader 2. Are you sure? Because it's pointing here. Well, if I'm wrong that the issue is not with this one here, then doing the get node shouldn't make a difference. So if I do get node resource preloader, oh, I see. I don't think the Godot error output would tell you what the name of the variable is. It just resource preloader is the same name as the type, which is resource preloader. So I don't think it's that, I don't think it would have printed. It's printing the type name, not the variable name, I think. No worries. Thank you for your suggestion, though, Cody. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Good to see you here. My guess is that this will fix it for some reason. Always something new with Godot happening. Let's see if it works. Oh, it doesn't. Interesting. So, is the thing actually being disposed? Oh, wait. Cannot access a disposed object. Oh, no. Now it's saying that something else has been disposed. Wait, are you kidding me? It's the... Something very weird is going on. Now it's saying the upgrade table is disposed, but it's pointing to the same exact lines. Yeah, That is strange. I'm gonna try something here. Let's go into the Godot folder. Let's just go ahead and delete the mono directory. Sometimes that helps with weird C# errors. Probably won't work, but we're just gonna try it. This is just, there's no rhyme or reason to why this is happening. We'll see what happens. Oh man, these kind of issues always tend to come up when I'm trying to have a productive stream. But oh well, that's the way it goes. Let's give it a shot. The most bizarre thing is that it works the first time as many times as I want it to, and then on subsequent runs, it just fails for some reason. It's the most bizarre thing. We're left with no way to approach the issue. Yeah, exactly, yeah. I have to basically just find a workaround now. Okay, so removing that didn't work. Why is it disposing it? That's so weird. I wonder what happens if I delete this. Add child node resource preloader. Because I copied that resource preloader from a different scene, and I wonder... Sometimes that happens too, where you copy or duplicate something in Godot, and I don't know what happens. It gets kind of corrupted or something. Again, these are all just guesses, but we're in workaround mode right now, so I have to figure out gun upgrade table part. Okay, let's give that a go. Can you make Forge UI a top level variable and so it lives outside of the scope of that function? Well, I think in order to get around it, I'd have to... Well, I don't know. We'll see. Could try something like that for sure. Maybe what I'll do is... let's look at the remote scene tree. The resource preloader is here. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Oh, wait. Oh, okay, that's not showing me the tree. Okay. Why in the world? Oh, you know what? I think I know what's happening. Yep, I know what's happening. Okay, so this is a problem with C# signal connection, I think. So there is an issue where... well, I actually don't know what the exact issue is, but when you connect signals with this manner, sometimes there's situations where the signals won't be disconnected, or maybe it's always that the signals won't be disconnected when the thing that you're connecting to... or wait, let me think about this. So this wave rewards manager is a very long persistent node. It lasts for the duration of your run, so it's always there. And this upgrade table is transient. It only happens during the wave, right? So when the upgrade table connects to this passive selection done on this manager, it's registering it with like an event sort of syntax here. So plus equals, and then sort of your function reference here. The problem is that this event is not unsubscribed when this upgrade table gets freed. And so when I roll around to the second wave, the first function to be called is the function that exists on the object that has already been freed from the first wave, and it crashes right there and it ceases execution from that point. So I guarantee you that's the problem. So yeah, it's in situations where the thing that you're connecting to will outlive the thing that you're connecting from. You'll run into these issues with C#. And so the way around that is to use the typical or the more traditional connect, where you just write .connect signal name dot, or let's see, wave rewards manager signal name dot passive selection done, and then you do a callable dot from on passive selection done. So when you connect it in this manner, the connection will be the signal connection will be disconnected when this object is freed. So I'm pretty sure that's going to fix it. I forgot about that little caveat. That doesn't bite me too terribly often, and when it does, it's usually been a long enough period of time where I forgot about it. So let's see. I need to speed up this testing process, I think. Come on, let's go. Oh. Okay, there we go. So now it works. Okay. So, yeah, I just have to be wary of that, I suppose. Okay, good. All right, we're back in business. So now I can continue doing what I need to do. So there's a couple of issues here. So I'm going to get rid of this old function, this show dimmed background there. I don't think that's necessary anymore. Let's go to the passive reward selection screen. We're going to get rid of this dimmed background. I guess we don't need this resource preloader at all anymore, so we'll get rid of that. Cool. In my wave manager, I'm also going to slightly change the positioning of the training dummy. And then now we need to manage the transition between the passive reward selection screen and the Gunforged, or the Gunforged UI screen. So queue free that, emit signal passive selection done. So in the upgrade table, when that passive selection is done, it's going to be on passive selection done. Show Gunforged UI. So in here, I need a way to control the dimmed background. Does this automatically animate in? Oh, it does. Why does it automatically animate in? That's weird. Oh, now I gotta figure out if that's even necessary. Find usages. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of that automatic animate in. I'm going to call animate in on this dual part selection UI because I'm removing it from here. Get rid of that. So now I have control over that. So the Gunforged UI, I believe this will call animate in automatically. Or will it? It won't, okay. Maybe we'll pass like a flag in here. On passive selection done, we'll pass false. We'll make that default to true. And then we'll say if animate in. And I think what I'll do is I'll just make that dimmed background a publicly accessible member here. So public dimmed background, like so. So now I should get a smooth transition, or a smooth-ish transition, from the passive screen to the Gunforged UI. Should be fine. Hello, Ariane, Michael. Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. All right, let's see how this... Oh, and now there's no... Oh, interesting. Oh, I see. I need a new method here. Show immediate. Okay. All right, so this dimmed background animation needs to happen probably earlier in that passive reward selection screen, and then where else does this need to happen? Okay, in here, if animate in, we're going to animate it in, else Forge UI dimmed background dot show immediate. Okay. Hopefully that gets the job done now. UI is my absolute nemesis. I think I've spent more time working on UI in this game than I have working on the gameplay mechanics. That might be an exaggeration, but still. Okay, cool. So aside from that UI just popping in, I definitely want to animate it in some ways, but for now, just popping in is fine. I can use it, and then if I revisit it, you can see that the background animates in as expected. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. All right, let's turn off the debug mode. Turn that off. So we can actually give it a real shot. And I'm gonna just commit what I have to just to be a compulsive committer. Just gonna look over all the changes too, just to make sure I didn't leave anything in that shouldn't be there. Okay, all looks good, so let's stage those and then merge upgrade tables into one. All right, let's give this an actual playtest now. See how it's all feeling when it's put together. And then we'll probably move on to something else. That merging of the tables actually was easier than I thought it was going to be. Hello, Viet Vu. I hope I said your name correct. Welcome to the stream. I'm using Rider, JetBrains Rider, which I'm liking a lot. Increase health by 1 permanently. All right, let's take a look. And let's take an oil. Well, I'm gonna take that rune, I think. Ooh, what do I want? This is an upgrade because it has an extra rune slot, but this one also has an extra rune slot, and it also ups the speed, but also the spread. I think that's fine. So let's equip that one. Let's take a gander at our other one here. That DPS goes way down, but I do get a rune slot. That's okay, I think that's fine. Let's add the rune there. Okay. Wow, that's quite a bit of spread. Look at that. If I just shoot in a straight line, it just goes all over the place. Well, that's fine. Let's go. All right. I would like a rune, please. Somebody drop a rune. All right, let's see what we've got. Robust, heal 1 health after each wave, but lose the ability to collect health globes. Enhanced combustion. I don't have any fire, but I do have oil. Inflict maximum blood stacks on all enemies. I'm gonna bet on this one. I'm hoping that I'll get some kind of fire affix. Let's put that one on, because that gives me a rune slot. This is a good upgrade. Ups the capacity, ups the fire rate, and the DPS. This gun needs help, so I'll just put it on that one. Okay. Ooh, look at that lightning. I like the lightning bullets a lot. They're just super chaotic. They don't hit very often, but when they do. I want somebody to drop a rune. I think I might need to... I definitely need to introduce more ways for runes to drop. There will probably be some kind of events, or maybe there will always be a guaranteed sort of rune reward at the end of the wave. I don't know. I have to figure that out still. Enhanced combustion ×2. Well, might as well go with that. Are any of these upgrades? Doesn't look like it. All right. Let's keep going. Oof. Oh, there's a rune. Got it. So the runes, like everything else, will disappear after a certain amount of time while they're on the ground. So you really need to make sure that you are hauling to go get those. I just got another one too, nice. Oh, a third one, wow. Look at that. Oh, and a fourth one. Holy moly. There's only like a 3% chance or something for a rune to drop from an enemy. So the fact that I just got 4 either indicates that my drop code is broken or I just got very lucky. I'm inclined to think that the drop code is probably broken, but I don't know. We'll see. So you can see here, so now I've got 4 available runes that I picked up. Let's see, I got an oil rune, a shock grenade rune, a bullet pierce rune, and another shock grenade rune. So no fire runes, unfortunately. And you can see that this one has a little red exclamation mark here, and that means that it will be auto sold. I need to put like a little note in this little box here that says that that will happen. But this is an indicator that I'm exceeded my inventory limit, and by the time I pull the lever, if I'm still exceeding the limit, it will just sell any rune that has a red exclamation mark next to it. But in this stage, I have control over what I want to get rid of. So I'm probably not going to use these shock grenade runes. So I'm just going to go ahead and sell one of those. And I might sell both of them, actually. Yeah, I'm going to sell both of those. So I don't need those. So now I'm back into my normal sort of limits here with the inventory. So don't need to worry about it. And by the way, there are icons coming for these runes too. I still have to draw all of them, but there will be icons on these. So you can distinguish them at a glance. So, do I have any parts that give me an extra rune? No, although this increases the fire rate and the DPS, but so does this one. So let's equip that one. And there are no good upgrades here, so yeah. I think we can call that good. Let's go on. I almost forgot to ask that you're using Godot built-in Git plugin for VCS, because when I tried it, it was giving me some errors. Yeah, to be honest, I don't know why the Godot devs spent time integrating Git. Maybe it was like a Google Summer of Code thing or collaboration or something with students, I think. But I would not use the built-in Git integration. I don't see why you would. If you want a Git client, there are so many other better Git clients to use. You could use GitHub Desktop if you want a UI. I mean, even using something like the built-in Writer or VS Code, Git integrations are much better. So yeah, I'm not surprised that there are errors with it. Dang, I keep putting points into this combustion one, but I haven't gotten any fire, so I'm just kind of like, oh, there's one. Adds 1 fire stack to enemies on hit up to 5. Perfect. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. Watch this. So I'm gonna take this poison rune off here, remove the poison rune, and then put the fire rune on. Boom. Adds 1 oil stack, adds 1 fire stack. Now, ooh, I could get extra runes too. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put this one on because that gives me another rune slot. So that will go on my other gun. And then let's see. Might as well do poison and bullets pierce. Yeah. Because then I can apply a bunch of poison stacks to a whole crowd of enemies. But this is gonna be nasty. So watch this. So because I have this enhanced combustion, oh, this is not dimming, so I need to fix that. But so 80% DPS of my weakest gun, which is gonna be close to like, it'll be 50 some damage every shot. So, oh, and I also got a new codex entry. Yeah, so I'm working on a codex as well. But yeah, so now every time I hit an enemy and apply that status, it just explodes and does a ton of damage. The unfortunate thing, though, is that this gun is very inaccurate. So I need to be like, let's see how much DPS I can get out of this. Let's see, I'll wait for this to die down. So about 150 DPS compared to this gun, 125. So it outputs quite a bit more DPS. And that explosion is extra damage too. So my gun still does the base damage it's going to do plus all that extra explosion damage. And I'm pretty sure that that explosion does damage to nearby enemies as well. It should if it doesn't, but I think it does. Actually, let's take a peep at it right now. Yeah, I think that's going to... Yeah, that's gonna do damage to nearby enemies. So let's take a gander at how that... Ooh, I'm gonna sacrifice some health here too. Oh, look at that, another enhanced combustion. So 100% DPS. Let's take it. So that means that every shot is gonna do 66 damage extra. 183 DPS, let's go. All right. We're min-maxing now, boys. Oh, this is nasty. Look at that. I'm glad I banked all those combustion passives. I wish I had more dashes, though. I'm running out of dashes, and that's putting me in a very bad spot, and the cat's crawling all over me. Come on, somebody drop a health globe or something. Those spiders are nasty, man. I always get killed by those guys. Oh! Somebody drop a health globe, please. There's one. Gotta be careful not to greet it too hard, though. There we go. Okay. Got some breathing room now. Okay. Whew. Ooh, we got a shop now, too. Wow. All right, let's do the gun upgrades first. I might need to update the shop now that I'm thinking about it. Do I want to do more enhanced combustion, or do I want to do another... Do I want to do Get Down, Mr. President for the bodyguard? Let's do the bodyguard. Okay. Ooh, this DPS goes up a lot. Let's go ahead and equip that one. So now I've got 3 runes on this one. I can't scroll here either. There's so many problems with this game I need to work through. There's a lot of work to do, but... So that's going to add a poison stack. Bleed. Okay. That DPS goes down, though. Okay, I think I'm just gonna have to deal with that. What are these ones? Oil and fire. Oh, interesting. I don't think I really need more of that. Let's go to the shop here. Do I need a health globe? I do. Perfect. Okay, so I got a health globe. I don't know why this says Blood Brothers. I definitely need to figure this out. Although, yeah, I need to see if the shop even still works. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make a note of that. So I'm actually gonna do that right now before I forget. Let's just put it. I'll zoom this in a little bit so you guys can kind of see what's planned here. So update shop to sell runes and account for weapon part sales that reduce rune slot count. So the nice thing though is like I can get the shop to sell runes now, which is going to be really good. Gun Scrambler. I need to update the Gun Scrambler as well. Update Gun Scrambler to account for yeah, so the unfortunate thing about changing the gameplay to have all these runes and whatnot is that it kind of messed up a lot of the stuff that I've already developed. So I kind of have to go back over it and fix everything. But that's, you know, that's just part of the game, I suppose, or part of the development experience. Hey, Baka Bros, thank you for the 2 pounds. Those aren't euros, right? Those are pounds. Thank you, I appreciate it. I'll check out your channel when the stream is over. As a software engineer, is this, oh, hold on, is this Trello? No, it's Obsidian MD with the Obsidian Kanban plugin, the community plugin. As a software engineer as well, give your opinion. I really like using Godot, it's simple and fast, but thinking in the future, Unity might be better if I want to change to full-time game dev. Yeah, I think, I wish I had a better opinion of Unity or Unreal. I mean, it certainly seems like if you want to build a more serious 3D game, Unity and Unreal are great choices and maybe preferable choices to Godot. That said, we're seeing more and more and more Godot games, successful Godot indie games that are doing 3D that are being made. So you've got like Cruelty Squad, you've got Rot Flesh from Mrs. There's a couple of other good 3D games, but there's lots of successful 2D games too. You've got Cassette Beasts, Dome Keeper, Brotato, Halls of Torment. Well, I guess, is Halls of Torment 3D? Or is it 2D? Is it 3D rendered to 2D? Either way, Halls of Torment, another very successful game made with Godot. So I think the point is, like, there's obviously people that are making very successful games in Godot. I guess it would depend on the scope of your project, though, right? Certainly if you're trying to make like a very big, expansive 3D game with top-notch graphics, then yeah, Unreal or Unity is probably the way to go. But for simple, smaller games in 3D, and for 2D games, generally speaking, I think Godot is a great choice. So yeah. Cassette Beast is 3D. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Baka Bros. I appreciate it. £2 UK currency. Excellent. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, so I think that would be my kind of I wouldn't be dissuaded from using Godot if you like to use it, but yeah, I mean, I don't think you can go wrong really with Unity or Unreal either. So, yeah, from what I can gather, like watching other developers use Unity and Unreal, like every engine has its quirks and idiosyncrasies. Maybe Godot is a little bit more rough than the other engines in terms of its experience, but there's not like a perfect solution. Like there's always going to be problems that you run into, it seems. So anyway, I'm gonna take this and hope that it doesn't break everything. Did that work? Oh, it did. Perfect. Okay, it would definitely break if it reduced my rune slots, but... Hey, thank you, Arian, for the... Ah, man, why doesn't YouTube convert to the currency that I know? Thank you for the 1090 in R dollars. Thank you. I really appreciate it. What happens if I... Wait, what does this do? It says, let's celebrate their third super. So thank you for the third super chat. Escape from Vostok. Yep, that's a good one. Yeah, I'm looking forward to 4.2. I've already tried the release candidates for 4.2, and it has broken some things for me. I tried to file a bug report, but surprise, I couldn't reproduce it in a minimal reproduction project. So I'm going to have to just fix those manually, I think. Riaz from Brazil. Oh, perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Escape from Vostok, or is it Escape from Vostok, or is it Road to Vostok? I think you're maybe mixing Escape from Tarkov and Road to Vostok, which is understandable because they're very similar games. But I could be wrong. Look at this DPS increase. So we went from like 180 DPS to 800 DPS. Look at this. 900. 956. We are going to be tearing through these guys now. Ain't nobody going to stop me. Oh yeah, look at that. Busted build. Poison. Oh, and I've got the poison and bleed interaction. So I'm working on a system of default status interactions. Oh my goodness, I'm just destroying these guys. I'm working on a codex of default status interactions, which are basically like, if you combine poison and bleed, for instance, the enemies will explode and deal damage. And that happens even if you don't have any runes related to poison or bleed, or sorry, any passives related to poison or bleed. So as long as you've got the poison and bleed status across your two weapons, that status interaction will happen. And then the idea is that I'll introduce passives that will increase or change the effect when you get that passive. So poison and bleed, for instance, might create some kind of zombie minion that comes out and then attacks something. And that's what those, I don't know if you saw those little codex entries, but the idea is that there will be a whole compendium of status interactions, and then as you encounter them, they will unlock and tell you what they do, and then that way, it's sort of like a soft meta progression because you get sort of like an education, or you learn more about the mechanics of the game as you encounter them. And then as you do that, you can plan around that, right? So then you know for the future, oh, poison and bleed gives me this interaction, plus I also get these passives that come with it and all that good stuff. So that's another thing that's changing. Let's do another enhanced combustion. Let's just keep stacking that one. Why not? That's a busted run. I think I'm going to be basically set until the end of the game here. Yeah, the road. Yeah, road to Vostok, yeah. Oof. So you can see, I don't know if you can notice, but sometimes clumps of enemies are all dying at the same time. That's because of the poison bleed interaction causing an explosion. There's another rune right there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out how to balance these drop rates a little bit, I think, because obviously as more enemies start spawning, you're gonna collect more gold and more runes. Also, I'm suspicious that this is not doing the damage that it says it's doing. Dealing 120% DPS of your weakest gun. Is that actually working? Get weakest gun stats, damage per second. Oh, maybe that's not even working. I actually don't really know how to check that. Let's see. Oil fire passive. Additional occurrences. Oh. Maybe this is just wrong. I think I've been stacking these for no good reason. This might need to be 0.2F times additional occurrences. Wait a minute. Now I need to figure out how this is actually working again. Handle collision interaction, handle entity collision. Right, okay, yeah, I do need to multiply by here. So this needs to be additional occurrences. Do I have just an occurrences? Yeah, there we go. Oops, so that wasn't even, so this wasn't even doing the correct amount of damage. This was supposed to be doing way more damage than that. Interesting. Well, I'm glad I caught that. All right, bug fixed. Bug discovered and fixed. Yeah, because I was looking at it, I'm like, wait a minute. One shot is only doing 60 damage, but this should be doing like 150 damage, 160 damage, at least, because of this. So, oh well. So my build would have been more busted than it already is. I think Godot will have a bright future. Yeah, I think I agree. Ooh, Blood Brothers, yes. Let's go, Blood Brothers. Okay, what do I got? Oil stack, fire stack, shock grenade. Do I want any of these? Fire stack. Fire rate increases as magazine depletes. That would actually be a really fun one. Yeah, I think I'm gonna remove the shock stack and then add the fire rate there. Okay. And then I'm going to, I don't really need more fire stacks, I don't think. So let's sell that rune. Sell that rune. Sell that rune. Oh, I didn't realize that there's an upgrade here. Although the capacity goes down. I don't think I want to reduce my capacity, actually. That looks like a good upgrade, though. Okay. Gun scrambler. So this I need to fix because this scrambling will not work for sure. So that's going to have to change as well. Hello, Wart Fiend. Let's see what you say. I've done your course and I loved it. Got a question. Do you think compositions will work with C# too? Would have preferred your survivors course in C#? Yeah, first of all, thanks for doing the course. I appreciate that. And again, for anyone that's listening, the course is on sale right now for Black Friday for $15 US, or $14.99. So if you're interested, you can click the link in the description to take advantage of that sale. But yeah, to answer your question, yeah, I'm using composition. This game is in C# right now, and so I'm using composition quite regularly for it, and it works great. In some cases, in some ways, it actually works better because what you can do, for instance, is like, you can get things like children by type. So if you're looking for a specific type of component, like let's say that I have an enemy with a health component, and I want to, let's say, I do this in my game, for instance. So I want to get the closest enemy to a position. I get the closest enemy, but now I need to apply damage. Well, what I can do is I can iterate over all the children until I find the first health component. And because it's a C# type, it's a pretty easy comparison, right? Like if component is health component. You could do this in GDScript as well, but it's nicer in many ways for C#. So yeah, in a lot of ways it works better because of the type system is what I'm trying to get at. But yeah, C# course is planned, but yeah, it does take a long time. It does take a long time to produce the course, like the survival. Look at all those blood brothers. Look at all those blood brothers. Yeah, so the last course that I did, so the course is like 17 hours of video content. So, and that's after I edited everything and, you know, re-recorded things. So I think I probably had 24 hours of raw footage from just recording all of the lessons. But then what I had to do is edit all 24 of those hours of footage into the actual lessons. So that means I had to watch basically every minute of that footage back. So that alone takes an enormous amount of time. I mean, I could probably get a course, like a similar size course, done in about a month if I worked on it for a couple hours a day at least. But it does take a long time. So I got another zap passive from dropping some coins in the well there, so that's cool. I'm going to stop taking enhanced combustion because that's not helping me. I'll take the increased health, and then let's see what we got here. Oh, this is a speed and spread decrease, but it increases the rune slots, and I could put a shocking. So let's do that. Let's equip that and then put shock on there. Oh my goodness, so much damage. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you guys liked the course. Very much appreciate that. Thank you. All right, let's see how badly I beat this dude. I'm actually not doing a whole lot of damage to him. Ooh, I'm already dying. All right, boss has a lot of health. I might change those rat bullets too. They're a little bit too random for me. I might give them a more predictable movement pattern. Yeah, I still have a bunch of bosses to design as well. A lot of work left to do. Blood Brothers, go! Let's keep the damage streak. I'm at 13,000 damage on this guy already. No! I'm gonna rage quit this game. That was pretty fun though. I'm liking how the game is feeling, being able to have more control over the build like that. Outside of these minor issues, fix damage calculation bug. Cool. Which would be better, C# or GD script course 1? Well, the courses that I've made are only in GD script. There's no C# course right now. So both of my courses that I have are GD script. The Survivors course is the one for Godot 4. But in terms of like what you want to use for yourself, it's up to your personal preference. I would, if you're good with GD script and you like it, then I would stick with that. I've got a couple of errors in here. I think this is the same issue that I was having before. Cannot access a disposed object, so let's just figure that out. On died, yeah, so this health component on died here. I think what I need to do is just do this. Health component dot connect. Health component dot signal name dot died. Callable dot from on died. So we're gonna fix that up. We'll satisfy Ryder's little warning there. Cool. So I'm just gonna fix these object disposed issues wherever they come up. Can I filter? I can filter this, right? Am I wrong? Can I not filter this output by error? Suppose not. Okay, so all these errors look like fire status errors. So, yeah, I think that will fix it. I'm sure there's more of those kind of errors sneaking around in the code base right now, but just fix that as well. And then there's a couple of other things that I want to do here. So all these UIs that no longer automatically dim, I'm just going to fix those real quick too. Dimmed background, dimmed background. You know what I might do? Instead of having to edit code for all this, I'll just do an export variable auto animate in. That ought to do it, and then I can just build. And into my player stats UI, I just check that box. And also in the shop UI as well. What? Did I do something wrong? Okay, it might be related to that, so I'm just going to close Godot and do it again. Build. Please don't error this time. What is going on? Type bool must be a reference type in order to use this parameter t in the generic type. What? Oh, this should be export, not node. That's why. Player stats UI auto animate in, yes. Let's go to the shop UI as well. This needs to auto animate in, cool. Might just redo the shop UI entirely. Make it similar to the weapon upgrade UI. because it's basically the same thing. I don't see a reason to make those different UIs, either thematically or functionally. Okay, so we've got our dimmed background back there. Spawn shop. Does that work? There we go. Spawn shopkeep, and then we got our dimmed background again. Give myself 100 gold. Buy everything that I want to buy. All right, that's looking good. Okay. This shopkeeper is still in the middle of the room. Okay. Cool. Well, I think that will probably be it for the stream today. Let me just see if there's anything else here. Yeah, there's a lot of work to do, so. Anyway, yeah, thanks everyone for watching. I'm going to end the stream there for today. Yeah, lots of work to do still, but these major changes, they're coming together, and I think they're really good for the game. I'm having a lot of fun with the game recently, just both developing it and playing it because of the changes that I'm making, so hope you feel the same way whenever I update the demo. Yeah, what else? So yeah, ring that notification bell. I might be streaming again tomorrow, so if you want to catch when I do that, you can ring the notification bell, subscribe, all that good stuff. And also, again, I have my Udemy course on sale for Black Friday for $14.99, so visit the link in the description to check that out if you're interested. And yeah, that will be it for the stream. So hope you all have a good day, and I will catch you in the next one. All right, bye-bye, everyone.